A space-obsessed dreamer gets swept into a wild intergalactic adventure in Pixar's new movie. So is it better than the last few Pixar films? Let's get started on my review of Elio. Let's go. What's going on, all my beautiful people? This is Jacey, and I just finished watching Pixar's Elio. Before I do start my review, please note this will be a spoiler-free review, just in case you haven't seen it yet, showing in theaters this weekend. Also, please make sure that you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on more new Pixar films that I'm reviewing just like this. So, Elio stars Jonas Kabrib, Remy Edgerly, Brad Garrett, Zoe Saldana, and more. Elio tells the story of a lonely boy who dreams of being a part of something bigger than himself and just belonging. Now, in this film, Elio lives with his aunt Olga, and she is played by Zoe Saldana. She's a strict but caring military officer, which is kind of an offset with him being lonely and feeling like he wants to belong somewhere, and having this aunt who's pretty strict and in that military environment. It doesn't feel like he fits in, so he becomes obsessed with space and the idea that aliens might actually understand him better than people on Earth do. And that's something that I really resonated with as I was watching this film. When I first saw the previews, I didn't really know what to expect, except that it was a Pixar film, and to be honest, in my opinion, Pixar rarely misses, but I know the last couple of films they've come out with haven't been that great. They've also had some of their fair share of okay and mid movies with Cars 2, Cars 3 could have been a little bit better, Finding Dory. Some of their sequels have been kind of lackluster. So when they announced this movie, I thought, okay, this could be interesting. Let's hope that Pixar knocks it out of the park, because the last thing that I saw from Pixar was Win or Lose, currently on Disney Plus, and I actually enjoyed that. It's a pretty underrated and not really talked about show that's been on Disney Plus for quite a bit, and I binge watched that within probably a couple of days. So I was a little hopeful for this, cautiously optimistic you would say, and I thought, all right, let's go and check it out. But what I did not expect is for this film to really resonate with me and what I went through as a child. The story is creative and heartfelt. While it packs a lot of ideas into its short runtime, not all of them are explored fully, but still the film does a great job balancing the emotional moments with fun, fast-paced space adventure type of elements. Now let's get into the acting. Jonas Kabrib voices Elio with honesty and emotion. He captures the feelings of confusion, sadness, and curiosity in a way that feels real and relatable. Zoe Saldana brings strength and warmth to the role of Aunt Olga, who's torn between her duty and her love for Elio, and also she doesn't really understand him at first, which kind of causes the plot to unfold with this movie. But I love how the end comes together, and I love how this whole adventure with Elio, not to say too much, but it really packs the emotional punch that you're looking for. And it's something that I haven't really seen from a Pixar film in quite a while. Now, Brad Garrett is both funny and intimidating as the alien warlord, Lord Grygon, while Remy Edgerly gives Glordon, Grygon's soft-hearted son, a lovable and touching personality. Really what brings us together is the dynamic between Elio and Glordon. And both of those kids do such a good job of voicing them, while Brad Garrett is playing that dominant figure, kind of like Zoe Saldana's character. It's an interesting dynamic to see how these two really share that bond and how things go from Elio discovering a new place where he might belong and finding someone who shares a lot of commonalities with him. And that's what really makes this film stand out. The voice cast as a whole does a solid job bringing each character to life. Now let's talk about the animation, because after all, this is a Pixar film and we gotta talk about the animation. Pixar doesn't disappoint when it comes to visuals. I mean, to be honest, even some of their lackluster films had great animation all the way around. The movie is full of rich, bright colors and imaginative alien worlds. From Elio's handmade cape made of random Earth junk to the vibrant design of the Communiverse, aka the space gathering hub. Everything feels playful and full of wonder. The technology, space creatures, and glowing landscapes all look like something a creative kid might dream up. And there was some parts in the beginning where I thought, okay, is this gonna be one giant metaphor? Is this real? Is he dreaming? Is he not? It kind of had me questioning things for a bit, but in a good way. It brought my intrigue up from, like I said, the last couple of Pixar films that I've seen. The only downside though is that there's so much going on visually that you might wish for more time to take it all in. There was a lot of fast-paced moving throughout most of this film. Now, don't get me wrong though, this does not affect the pacing of the film when it comes to the story or things that you're trying to understand, but just speaking in terms of animation, there's some beautiful scenes that I wish could have lingered a little bit so you could really appreciate everything that these animators did. At its core though, Elio is about feeling left out and longing to belong. The movie uses science fiction as a way to explore emotions we all deal with, like loneliness, grief, and the desire to be understood just the way we are. It's got this innocent way of making you feel so much in such a little time frame, just like a lot of the older Pixar and Disney films, tapping into some of the things that a lot of people have felt before. I'm not gonna lie, towards the end of this film, I was getting a little teary-eyed because it's such a beautiful way that it ties up, but also it's such a universal emotion to feel loneliness or feel like no one understands you in certain times of your life. Elio's journey across the stars mirrors the inner journey he takes towards healing and connection. His friendship with Glordon shows that even across galaxies, people and aliens can relate to each other's struggles. And the best part about this film too is that it also touches on growing up, dealing with pain, and learning to face the unknown. It has a quirky sense of humor, some clever sci-fi references, and a heartfelt message that stays with you. Although some parts feel a little rushed or predictable at some points, the emotional depth for sure makes up for it. And one thing to note as well is that the humor is mostly aimed at either toddlers or preteens, but nonetheless, I really enjoyed watching this film and I was surprised to say the least. With all that being said, I'm gonna give Pixar's Elio 4 out of 5 flames and a fire film rating.
It's good. It's good.
Elio is a beautiful, touching, and visually creative movie that both kids and adults can enjoy. It may not answer every question it raises, but it's a powerful reminder that the need to connect is something all beings, human or alien, can understand. So for sure, this is definitely a great movie, and I highly recommend you guys checking it out, especially if you're a scaredy cat and don't want to watch 28 years later, or horror movies are just not your thing. Definitely give this one a go. Alright guys, so have you seen this film yet, or are you looking forward to seeing it? What's the last Pixar film you've seen that really surprised you? Let me know in the comments below. Last thing before I do go, you guys, please make sure that you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date. My name is Jacey, and until next time, I'm out.